Which electric car maker is most exciting to you all right now?
Tesla.
Same?
Yeah.
Chelsea's husband works for Tesla. So.
Yep.
Ucilia?
Well, Tesla for the sexy cars, but I think that's it as far as.
So why Tesla? Let's talk about Tesla. They certainly accomplished making electric cars cool. 10 years ago, electric car meant a go-kart with funny wings and a little lawnmower or something. Now, electric car means cool, sexy Model S.
Well, I think Tesla is one of the only startup companies that has kind of not necessarily succeeded yet, but has made it to certain milestones, and they're doing reasonably well. And I think that, it's exciting to me that there can be a disruptive startup company that's trying to disrupt the car companies in general versus, the large automakers creating their own EVs are just a little bit less, disruptive and exciting from that perspective, from a media perspective.
Others would say that Tesla has a huge stock price. They got a $3 billion valuation. When the CEO of General Motors was here, I looked at the Tesla stock price since the GM IPO, and Tesla had outperformed Ford, GM, and Daimler from that artificial starting point. So the stock market's liking Tesla. Some people might say that they've just been announcing lots of products. It's also a heavily shorted stock on the stock market. A lot of people are betting on Tesla's failure. Mm-hmm. Chelsea, tell us some more.
Look, Elon's a showman. I mean, there's absolutely some storytelling and some showmanship as part of all of this. And sometimes I'd say more showmanship than substance and vice versa. But the reality is that for a long time, they had put more electric cars on the road than any major automaker out there. And I agree with Katie that they're the first startup that looks even remotely viable that we've seen. What's interesting about them, and I think what people resonate to, is how aspirational their vehicles are. They're the one company that kind of does get that these are an emotional purchase, and it is not some dumbed-down appliance you have to make really boring to get people to accept. Vehicles are all about passion in one way or another, and they're about the emotional experience. For some people, that's performance. For some people, that's quiet and smooth. For some people, it's HOV lane and just easy. Doesn't matter. But they kind of get that that's what it's about. And so from that perspective, and from a design perspective and showing what's possible, I think they're interesting. From a long-term success, I really like the guys who understand that a 100 or 150-mile car, real-world 100-something miles, is where it's at. And making that cheap enough for more and more people to afford is actually more important than making a 300-mile version that only a few people can afford. So it's a little bit of a bidirectional goal, but yeah.
Well, that's the problem I have. So I'm not sure if Tesla can actually, when it's going to actually make that affordable cars, right? For the second model, I remember a couple of years ago, Model S was supposed to be like marketing to the masses, but it's still too expensive. So I thought, okay, the third model is going to announce it coming out, and maybe the price will come down. No, it's not coming down. That's the thing with.
But the third model is based on the Model S. Right. It's going to be the third Blue Star or whatever is supposed to be the super cheap one. That's $30,000, which is like a couple years away.
Right.
I mean, I think it's taking a while, but I'm.
$30,000 super cheap, I guess, in EV terms.
Super cheap, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see, I guess I don't expect Tesla to make the affordable car. It's going to be Nissan or Mitsubishi or somebody like that to make the 100-mile everyman car that I could actually afford maybe. And Tesla will make the one that I aspire to and have to go get a roadster fix every once in a while because I like torque and horsepower more than anyone reasonably should.